All right, folks, this went kind of viral last night for pretty good reason. You know, it's nothing too surprising if you saw the Louis Theroux documentary for the BBC called The Settlers. Daniela Weiss, who is considered the godmother, quote unquote, of the Israeli settler movement, as Piers Morgan accurately tweets here, she is prominently featured in that film. And you get a sense of just what a remorseless, and I'm sorry, there is no other way to describe her, pure evil person she is in that documentary. But I must say, this is even more chilling. This is even more chilling just because of the layout. Just the visual of it makes it more chilling. Because it's a talk show, she's looking right into the camera. And the fact that she's looking right into the camera really brings out the pure witch-like evil that she emits. I mean, that's not. I'm not saying
she really is like a character from a horror movie.
She gives off the exact vibe of like the witch in the Hansel and Gretel story. I'm not even like saying that for effect. I'm not saying that as a joke. That is as accurate as I could be. You be the judge. So here's Piers Morgan asking a very simple question. A very simple question. Do you feel bad for the Palestinian children that have been killed by the IDF over the past 21 months?
How do you feel about the fact that over 20,000 Palestinian children have now been killed since October the 7th in Gaza?
I think that the Palestinians, as you said, I said Palestinians, the Gazans and all Arabs around should stop attacking Israel.
Well, I just asked you how you thought about 20,000 children being killed by the IDF. So how do you feel about that?
I think that the parents should be very careful before they teach the children to hate Jews and to kill Jews.
No, that wasn't my question. That wasn't my question. Sorry to be persistent, but my question.
That was your question.
My question was, how do you feel?
Answer.
My question was, how do you feel? How do you personally feel about over 20,000 Palestinian children now being killed since October the 7th in Gaza? How do you feel about that?
I think that Arabs, Gazans, or Jordanians, or Syrians, whoever, should be very, very careful with the way they educate the children.
Yeah, that wasn't my question. That wasn't my question.
Many of them,
clearly a psychotic person. This is clearly a maniacally evil person. Like I said, I'm not saying that for effect. I'm not saying that we make a lot of jokes. I'm not joking. There's no other way to describe this. How do you feel about the fact that 20,000 children have been killed? She responds by threatening the parents of the children. And, he brought in Cenk Uygur after this to talk about this. And, Cenk said something that was true. He said, just think about...
Wasn't he on with Shmuley again?
He was. He says, think about the logic of what she's saying. She's saying the Arabs shouldn't teach their children to hate Jews. She's saying that to justify the killing of Arab children. So, of course, the children are going to be raised to hate Jews if the Jews kill children to punish their parents.
Right.
Like what you're saying doesn't even make logical sense, but it's almost ridiculous to even engage this logically. This is just clear psychopathic
this is
evil.
Yeah, she takes it to a psychotic level, which is why she gets so much attention, because she doesn't even try to dress it up. But this is a very typical Zionist formulation.
Yes.
They bring it on themselves.
Right.
It's that's almost the liberal Zionist position. Well, it starts with the education.
Right.
Have you ever seen what they teach these kids?
Yep. It's a pretty standard talking point. That's correct.
Many of them.
Can you answer my question?
Answer. That was my answer.
So you don't care? You have no thoughts about these children at all?
You choose your questions, and I answer them the way I believe is right.
But just to be clear, you have nothing to say about 20,000 children being killed. Nothing at all.
I have a lot to say about everything that happened as a result of the massacre of the 7th of October.
I understand you care about Israeli children who died, as do I. But I'm able to care about both sides of children who've died. Why don't you care, seemingly, about the Palestinian children who've died? Why can't you express any sympathy or sorrow or empathy with the children who've died in Gaza? Are you able to do that?
I warn all Arabs from all sides, from all borders.
Doesn't stop.
Warn them. Stop educating children
Right.
to hate
Just to be
Jews
clear, I've now
and
offered you
massacre.
three times.
I made myself very clear.
Oh, you've made yourself very clear.
You asked me 5 times.
I'm going to give you.
Okay, so I mean, look, I gotta say, the witch has a point. Piers keeps throwing her a lifeline, trying to get something out of her, and she's like,
trying
"Listen,
to get something she doesn't have humanity."
Listen, I understand what you're saying. That's what she said. No, there's no confusion here. There's no language barrier. I understand what you're asking me. This is my answer.
Yeah,
I am
right.
very confident and satisfied in the pure, heinous, satanic level of evil that I am signaling with my answer. That's what she's saying there. I mean, she's right. She understands what he's saying.
Yep.
She will not budge.
You asked me 7 times.
Okay, I'm going to give you one last chance to offer some empathy or sympathy
She laughs.
or sorrow
Look at
about
that.
the deaths of 20.
Look at that grin. Tell me that is not a satanic. I mean, I said, I'm not
well,
even joking.
that's a Nazi. That's
Yes.
a Nazi.
Of course.
How is that not a Nazi? I think that the Jews have brought this on themselves.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
20,000 children in Gaza. Are you capable of doing that?
I can tell you that had you cared, and I don't believe you that you care a tiny bit about one killed person, if you do not use the means that you have as a media person to stop educating children.
I gave you 4 chances. All right.
Jews. Okay, you gave me 7. You gave me 7.
And you know what? You couldn't
And I
give a
still
damn,
think
could you?
that
You
you
couldn't
are to
give a
blame
damn.
more than me.
You don't care, and all you want is all the Palestinians gone. You can barely even bring yourself to say their name. All you want is to take over the West Bank and Gaza. You don't care how many die in the process. You want them all gone. You don't care, do you? That's the bottom line.
Wow.
As you said, the audience will judge.
Yeah, they will.
Unbelievable. You know, I meant to mention in the segment we did about Ireland's boycott bill, and I'm kicking myself now because I didn't, but I'll try and make up for it here. The Ireland boycott bill doesn't even enforce boycotts against Israel. It simply enforces boycotts against the settlements, against people like this.
Yeah.
Against the settlements in the West Bank that are deemed illegal, which are illegal under international law. Right.
Even
so when
among countries that do not criticize Israel's existence in and of itself, those settlements are recognized to be illegal. They were illegal in the United States until Miriam stuck her hand up Trump's ass and he rescinded that.
Yes, exactly. So when dozens of American politicians rush to Twitter to chastise Ireland for boycotting settlements, they're doing so to defend people like this. This is whose side the Americans are on. Right? Now, you're going to have some American politicians come out and call her an extremist, and she is an extremist in her presentation. I mean, just the way she presents like a literal witch. And like I said, I'm not even saying that for effect. That's literally as accurate as I could be when I'm talking about her. But what she is saying there is a very accurate representation of mainstream Israeli politics, which is that, yes, the Arabs teach their children to hate us, and so everything is fair game. That's a mainstream opinion in Israel. That's not out of bounds.
It is. She just presents it without any window dressing. She doesn't present it with the obligatory more in sorrow than in anger.
Right.
That Zionists will usually present. It's terrible. It's a cockstocracy over there. You know, they just they have terrible leadership. And, they teach them from children. Have you seen their textbooks in the schools, what they teach them? She doesn't do any of that. I think they should stop. All she has to say is, even if she doesn't mean it, and I got to say, Zionists mostly don't, but they have enough sense to pretend to care. All she has to do is pretend to care to get out of that.
Yes, it's a tragedy, yes.
Yes, it's terrible. I think it's terrible because they teach them to hate.
Right, exactly. You could even, if you had any, sense. This is what I mean. This is why I say she's just pure, just distilled evil.
Like she's like out of Rosemary's Baby. She would have been one of the neighbors.
Right, exactly. Right, because she does not know to couch it in those terms. It's just you're getting the pure sentiment. Yeah, just really, really chilling stuff.
Please clap.